Hi there, my name is Tom Bell, and welcome to my 5 Minute Friday videocast on the 2nd of May. I cannot believe where the year is going. So, we're going to talk about disconnectedness today, and in particular, we're going to talk about the Isle of Mull. That will make sense in a minute. So, who am I? I'm an author, I'm a consultant, I'm an educator, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, and like most of us, I'm a work in progress. In fact, the longer I live, the more I find out how much of a work in progress I am. So, I'm currently involved in one or two bits and bats and doing some further study. And my wife and I took a few days out to go up to the Isle of Mull last weekend. Well, when I say last weekend, an extended week, about 5 days. And I'd just forgotten how good it was just to go somewhere. The coverage, actually, the mobile phone coverage wasn't that bad, but to go somewhere where you leave everything behind, you know. We have an old camper van, and it is old, 28 years old, nothing fancy. And just to go up there and forget everything. Maybe take a Kindle with you, a couple of books perhaps, and just spend every night in a different place. One night overlooking a beach, one day in the baking sunshine, one day in the pissing rain. You know how it goes. It's Scotland. But that break for the brain, that disconnect from everything that's going on, you can just feel this sense of whether it's just a thing I feel, I don't know, but you're driving up that road, and you leave Penrith, and for those of you that know the UK, Penrith is in the north of England, sort of the middle of Cumbria, and you head up that motorway, and it's a lovely motorway all the way to Glasgow. Then you navigate Glasgow, and you come out the other side, and you just feel everything slipping away from you. All those concerns, cares, all the stuff that hangs on you, all those things that you think need doing that are important but really aren't that important. And as you get further and further up into Scotland, that feeling just gets better and better. Good weather helps, no denying that. But I guess the point I'm making is that feeling of disconnect, I think you need to travel to achieve that. Maybe you can do it by sitting in a corner of a dark room, such as this one, maybe with a towel over your head, or finding a particular space, whether that's a shed or a summer house that you've got, or just, maybe it's the conservatory for you or whatever it is. But actually leaving everything so the phone can't ring, so the mobile is on silent. In fact, perhaps not even turned on. And then just looking at things, you see things differently. And that's the beauty of it. It's not just that you see new things, it's that you see existing things in new ways. And you come away from an experience. I always we try to get to Scotland once a year, and I love it, by the way. This is not an advert on behalf of the Scottish Tourist Board, but I love Scotland. It's wonderful. But whenever I go there, I get a sense of perhaps how life should be. Now, I appreciate if you live in the middle of Glasgow in the Gorbals, it's very different, than if you live on the outskirts of Oban or on the Isle of Mull. But if you travel to those places where the people are few and far between, where the shops aren't always open, where you can't always demand something gets delivered straight away if you want it, I just think you get a sense of life again, that perhaps the way we live, in let's call it the South, or in the developed Western economy, or in the cities, in the built-up areas, we're deprived of that, aren't we? I mean, this Penrith is a small market town, maximum population 20,000. Sure, it's growing, fairly rapid rate. But even in Penrith, the honking of the horns and the road rage and the people in a hurry, you can see that. Maybe you notice it more as you get older, I don't know. But I would say it occurs more. We've got more people in a hurry. People are angrier. People have less time to spare. The bills are stacking up. They've got to be somewhere. They've got to be at the appointment. They can't afford not to get to work. They can't afford to miss this or to miss that, because everything costs money, and time is money. And we've commoditized everything, haven't we? This language about time is money, and there's that we don't value thinking, do we? Time to do nothing. So this Friday afternoon, I will. Sure, it's a luxury. That's fine. Trust me, I've worked hard enough to reach this point. But that's a contradiction, isn't it? But I'll be in the garden, or we'll be walking down street, enjoying a sandwich or something like that. But it's that time to think that's so precious, isn't it? We're hurtling headlong towards our graves, aren't we? And none of us are really going to remember all those crappy things we did to earn that extra shekel or that extra penny, but we're all going to want more time, aren't we? Time to do the things we want to do. Not time to do the things, by the way, that other people tell us we should do. The shopping leisure activity, or this leisure activity, or that leisure activity. The stuff we want to do. Sit in the garden, smoke a cigar, have a glass of Glavar, whatever it might be. So I would, as the holiday season begins, all I would say is the power of disconnection is a marvelous thing. I'd encourage you to do it. Get out, disconnect from everything you know. Spend time in nature. It's brilliant for your mental health. I can say that as somebody who's worn the black dog around my shoulders for many years. Thankfully, less so recently. But yeah, go disconnect, enjoy. It's a bank holiday weekend. Go do something. Go do nothing. All right. Ciao.